So a lot of folks are doing this now. That is going back to analog. I love this idea. Um, I have some records that I found at an antique shop, and my dad has a huge collection of records, some of which I think are mine. And there's just, there's something different about playing records as opposed to queuing up a file on your phone or something. This is, it's just, it's a different experience. You can have a tactile relationship with your music. I can hold this in my hand. I can look at that artwork. And I love these picture records, by the way. You don't get that in a file on your phone. So, and there is a thing about analog sound too, but this is not going to be an audiophile review. If you want to know the numbers on this unit, you can go and read that anywhere. This is going to be from the perspective of a home user who isn't an audiophile, but who has a record collection. And I want to get back into playing records because there's just something about the experience of spinning a disc and you play it all the way through and it's done. And then you pick it up and you turn it over and you play the other side. There's just something about that appeals to me. Now obviously it's not going to appeal to everybody, and I'm going to still play digital music quite a bit because of its convenience factor. Obviously in the car I can't play records, so I'm going to love my digital music collection still, but I'm going to be able to love my record collection as well. I bought this at Fry's Electronics, and as you can see on here, I got the version where it's black, and they only had black and white in the store. They had the colors, but you had to order those, and I just kind of wanted one right away. Black is fine. I got the acrylic platter, the orthophone cartridge, the built-in preamp because I just didn't want to deal with that. And then the Q lever is not included, but I was able to order that for 40 bucks on Amazon. It'll be here in a few days, no problem. I like using Q levers. It's not necessary, but I think it helps you, not damage your records. So just a quick unboxing here, and then I will set it up, show you the basics of how it works, and I will play a record just for a little bit and see how it sounds. Now I'm not going to be playing through a high-end audio system, so it's iffy. But I've got that coming from Amazon as well. So we'll see how this goes for the first shot. So when you open the box, there's a piece of cardboard on top, and you've got your acrylic platter as a separate item. This is customizable. You don't have to get acrylic. There's another option. So they package this separately, and I'm gonna have to put it on there. There's also the mat there, again as a separate piece. So that piece of cardboard lifts out completely, and you've got your components box here, which came with cables, RCA cables, and warranty information and stuff, instructions here as well. Inside that box is the dust cover. That is the dust cover for the record player. Further inside that box is this little box, which feels like the wall adapter. Yeah. So then all the way down in the bottom of the box is the record player itself, and it's packaged nicely. It's got these little deals that keep it up off the bottom of the box and keep it from getting bashed around by the shipping. And then the spindle and everything is covered with foam. I like that. That's a good idea. And the tone arm is hooked down with zip tie so it doesn't move around. Very nice, simple packaging. It's not too much, but it's enough to protect the product so that I get it in good quality. This unit is very, very simple. That is all that's in the back, is those two RCA outputs, and then a plug hole for the AC adapter. The unit itself is very, very lightweight. I would really like a record player to be heavier than this, but you know, this is new stuff. It's minimalist. It's different. So there's the spindle and everything there. Alright, one thing that was in that little baggie was this, which is the drive belt, and this, which is the quick setup guide. There's not much to this. It really is exactly like it says here. Just put the platter on top of the spindle, wrap the belt around the pulley, connect the AC adapter, slide the dust cover into the hinges, connect the orbit to the stereo using RCA cables. Oh, remove stylus cover. So everything is ready to go, and I decided that this one would in fact be the first record that I will play on it. So this is actually my first test to see if the thing works at all. Now I tested my speaker to make sure it's working, but this will be the first time I've played anything on this record player. Hopefully it works. We'll see. It's been a long time since I stuck a tone arm on a record. I think the last time I did that was the 1980s. I still remember how to do it, but my hands are more shaky than they were when I was young. I love that sound. So there you go. I'm sorry I can't let you listen to the whole thing on YouTube, but there you go, and it sounds alright. It sounds almost as good as a CD, but I can notice a difference in the sound, even with the cheap speakers. I can definitely hear some clicks and pops in it and stuff. But this would be fine on a really loud system. It would be fine. So this old record, this is an old copy of Metal from Pink Floyd. And this record is pretty scratched up and in pretty bad shape. And you can hear that. But you can also hear the record player is playing it just fine. Like, that really sounds pretty good. You know, it's got scratches in it, but it sounds pretty good. So overall, you know, I'm pretty happy with this player. It seems to be working great even on old beat up records like that one, which is what I got it for. I didn't buy it to play new pristine records all the time. I think this is a decent turntable for the money. It's simple, and that's kind of what I wanted. I got this to play bashers. I got it not to play brand new stuff. I got it because I've got some old beat up records that I want to play. And I don't want a $1,000 turntable and expensive stuff getting messed up by those old records, right? So I know that me playing scratched up records in this video is going to annoy some people, but that's the reason I bought a cheap, you know, inexpensive turntable, so that I could do that. It doesn't have any bells and whistles. And now if I was going to, you know, invest in a good record player, I would spend $1,000 or something for the PLX 1000 or something like that, right? But, you know, I don't need that, and I don't need the extra junk that comes along with that. This thing has no strobe light. It doesn't even have markings on the platter. It has no pitch adjustment. It only has 2 speeds. There's no 78. There's only 45 and 33, and you adjust that by moving the belt physically on the pulley. It doesn't have USB or Bluetooth, but this is about analog. You know, if you don't have an analog path all the way to your speaker, I think you're kind of wasting your time. So USB and Bluetooth don't make a lot of sense to me. I didn't really want that. It is very, very sensitive to vibrations, and so that is one thing that I think maybe a heavier unit, and there's some heavier units in this price range that you might look at. I think maybe that's one thing that might be a little bit better. The belt on this is easy to slip off, but it's also easy to get it back on there. The acrylic platter. I like the acrylic platter. It's heavy. It's flat. It looks great, but it does seem to attract dust. Now I know that there's no real way to prevent attracting dust onto a record playing surface, but the acrylic, I'm not fully sold on that idea. It looks great and it works fine, but it does seem to attract a little dust. Overall, this thing has very, very good sound. I've been listening to trashy records and I've been listening to brand new records, and they all sound very, very good. No problems at all with the sound. It's a very simple system, so you're going straight from the needle to the jacks in the back, pretty much without a lot of junk in the way, so it sounds very clean. You're getting sound directly off the record without a lot of stuff in the way. I think that's a good idea. I think I may have actually preferred one of the colors, like possibly the red or the white, but the black looks fine. I think the dust cover is a little chintzy. It could be a little bit more stiff, and it's very, very shiny. I think I might prefer actually a more matte coating on the dust cover, but it's hard to say. As you can see, it's reflecting the curtains behind very, very nicely. This set of options that I got on this one brought the total to about $380, so it's gonna be about $420 with the $40 Q lever, right, all up together. So for $420 you can get some pretty advanced turntables that have all that other stuff. They have USB, they have multiple outputs, you know, they have wireless, some of them, they have pitch sliders and all that junk, right? So if you really think that you want that kind of stuff, that's kind of the only downside of this unit, is you don't get that stuff. And, you know, if that's important to you, then that's probably going to be important to you. It's not important to me, so I'm very happy with this at this price, and I give it a very good review. But if you want pitch sliders and strobe lights and junk like that, obviously this is not going to be the unit for you. So keep that in mind. But overall, very good unit, good price, looks great. I'm totally happy.